Hey guys, back with another video. Today's miner strategy. I've recorded audio for 3 videos now, so sorry if I am getting even more monotone than usual. I'm really looking forward to ending these videos because I'm not going into good strategy and being able to help you out with a specific deck. And so it's been kind of pointless. This is what I hope you got out of these, was that you just kind of the basics of what these decks will bring for you. And you need to definitely pick a ladder deck and try to stick with it for as long as possible if you want to be good at ladder. You need to pick one, and I know it gets boring staying with the same deck. It gets boring for everyone, but if you want to get far, that's normally how you've got to do it. You've got to learn the deck. You'll eventually learn it so well, and you'll be able to make all these decisions. You'll know the interactions that will happen between specific cards, and you'll also have those cards upgraded well, which is always a plus. So try to stick with the deck if possible. If you're not going to, I would suggest having maybe 1 or 2 decks that you stick with, and only upgrade those cards. You've got to keep some discipline when you're playing ladder, because ladder's naturally not fair, because some people are going to have higher card levels than you, and that automatically sets you back at least a step, if not more, especially if their tower's a higher level than you. So you've got to make up for that by upgrading your cards and over leveling them if possible, by sticking with the same deck for a long time. So this is Miner. Obviously you see Hogs in here, so it's a hybrid deck, and a lot of decks these days have 2 win conditions, which is a hybrid. So this has got Miner and Hog Rider. And Nullbricks has some high level stuff. If you haven't been able to tell from watching the replays, it's pretty impressive the levels he's got on this. He's got a level 10 Hog Rider, if I'm seeing that correctly. My screen's a little bit blurry for some reason, but he's a very good player. So Miner, you usually won't use it with a Hog Rider. It's usually going to be more of a control deck, and it's going to have Knight in it, Inferno, and just cards that are that have really good defensive capability, like archers, even skeletons and Ice Spirit for more cycle Miner decks. So Miner can be put in more beatdown decks, like if you want to combo it with a giant or a golem. My brother actually used to run Miner with golem, and the golem will tank a lot of shots for the Miner, and the Miner will get a lot more damage on the tower than you'd think. And behind a giant, and also a Lava Hound. A Miner's very good when you combine it with a Lava Hound. Right when the Lava Hound pops, you put your Miner over there to tank for the Lava Pups. It's also very good for that. But most Miner decks are going to be kind of a Miner poison to poison the troops that your opponent puts down, because usually they're going to be splash. They're going to be kind of squishy, like minions. Goblin Gang, goblins, skeletons, just that type of stuff. And then you can also poison it depends. You got to use your better judgment whenever you're practicing with the deck too. You can poison an Electro-Wiz because it'll die most likely, because it'll be sitting in the poison for long enough. But certain troops, I wouldn't take a risk Like, wizards and musketeers will die if they sit long enough in the poison, but if they don't sit long enough in the poison, they'll end up surviving and will hurt you really bad on a counter push. So, be careful when miner poisoning. Um, just use you'll eventually get the deck down. Like I said, if you stick with the deck long enough, you'll get it down really well. So this deck you see me running, it's a log bait, and I have poison in the deck. Poison's a very good card to run with miner, and log bait's really fun to run with miner, although it's kind of difficult to use sometimes. So just remember, as a miner player, you've got to worry a lot more about your tower's health, because oftentimes you won't be taking a tower out in one push. You've got to constantly be hitting that tower and taking off 200, 300, maybe 500 tops health off that tower. And so it's going to take a lot of pushes to get in there. But if you're a player that's very good defensively, you like to control the game and just make consistent good plays, then this type of deck's good for you. If you're not as good at that and you make more mistakes, well, actually, these little decks, you're allowed to make more mistakes because you can recover from them better, because your cards cost less. Beatdown, you can't afford to make as many mistakes, but you also don't have to do as many pushes, and you can, if you make mistakes, you can kind of make up for them because you're going to have a huge push in the end, and you can totally, like I've said, totally take out a tower in one whole push. So if you make a mistake, it's kind of, you can forgive yourself for it more as a beatdown player, because you can just wreck someone's tower and very quickly. So if you're running a control miner deck, make sure to play very good defense. Very, very good defense. You will get hurt, and you'll get beat very bad if you can't play defense and you're running a miner control deck, because it's not going to do the damage that other decks will do. So like I told you, this is a miner with Lava Hound. Right when the Lava Hound was about to pop, Jude sent over a miner, and it tanked for those lava pups, and he killed that tower very badly. And if you saw on the right side, the guy invested 14 elixir on a push and didn't even touch the tower. The Inferno Dragon took out the P.E.K.K.A. and the Executioner too, I believe. The Ice Golem isn't going to do any damage anyways. I think the tower and the skeletons took that out, but that wasn't a big thing. The main thing is that he was able to stop the P.E.K.K.A. and the Executioner with just an Inferno Dragon and Tombstone, which is 7 elixir to 12 elixir. So that was a very good defense on his part. I think that the Inferno Dragon is probably one of the most underrated cards. It's got some pretty good uses. It charges up, it does a lot of damage. It has a lot of potential, I think, and it's not used almost at all, especially at the top. I haven't looked at the top lately, but I don't know if anyone at the top uses Inferno Dragon or Sparky, because Sparky's just terrible, but Inferno Dragon I think has potential. So feel free to use that card. It gets a bad rap, but don't be afraid to use it, because it can be especially good in these air type decks. So that was very good by Jude 123, that miner on the King Tower right as the Lava Hound was popping, and got a pretty easy 3 crown on that one. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and the next one is the very last one for this series, so thanks for watching.